Hi everybody, it's Joni at Granny J Clay, and this morning I am doing something just a little bit different. I decided to pull out some black clay, and I'm going to use this stamp. It's called a love letter. I did this, oh gosh, many years ago. I used it one time only, and I just thought, well, it's time to dig that out and just do it again. You really can't read the words once it's stamped onto the clay, at least not very well. Maybe one here and there you can read, but it makes a really nice piece. So let's just do that today. Let's just stray away from Christmas ornaments, etc., etc., and let's just do something a little different. So what I did was I got out, oh, there's a little piece of something there. I got out my Primo Black, and I cut off little chunks. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through my pasta machine and make sure that it's where it needs to be before I press the stamp into it. So I'll be back in a second after I have that done. Okay, I have it all rolled out, and what I did is I put it on a piece of my paper. Let's see, these are called patty papers. This is let me see, 5.5 by 5.5. I think I've showed you those before. And you can order them over the internet. They are so helpful. The reason I did that is I don't want it to stick to the glass. This will be easier to get up once I have this pressed in. So let's begin this. I'm just going to go ahead. I held it over it and I saw that it would fit. So let me just lay it down here. And what I'm going to do is just walk my fingers over it and make sure that I get it pressed in really well. As I remember, this one was a fun one to make. And when you make something with black, a lot of people can wear black. You know, they have clothing that has some black to it, or maybe blue, and this goes with it. So it's not such a wild color that it can't go with something. So the last time I think I did this, what I did make was I made 3 hollow beads together and made that into a necklace, and it looked really, really pretty. And of course, the hollow beads were really thin. And so it worked really, really, really well. Let me just pull this up and see. Let's see if I don't know if I can get you closer. I can. Okay. Let's see if we can see this. I'll hold it here. Oh yeah, that's going in really nicely. So now I'm going to turn it and go this way. Sorry, I'll bring you back. Okay, here we go. You could use, certainly, an acrylic block like this, but I just want to really make sure that this is down in there well. Not that it wouldn't be with the acrylic block, but I just sometimes with words or letters, you know what I mean? You just want to make sure you've got it all in there. Okay. I think we're going to be good, but let's check it again. Don't even know if you can see that very well, but it looks really good. It looks really good. So I'm going to bring you back out. So I'm just going to pull this off. Oh, that looks really nice. Let me just see if I can bring you down here a little bit, and you can see it better. Maybe if there you go, you can kind of see it. There you go. Okay, now what I am going to do is I'm going to use my my Pearl Essence again, you know, that stuff that gets all over everything. So I moved my extra clay away so it doesn't get on my other black clay. And I'm going to pull you back out again. And I'll get out my this is the Pearl White of Pearl X powders. And then I'm going to get a brush, and we're going to dab, 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 dab. I've been using my brushes for so many different things. I think I need a new set. These are just cheap from Michael's. I think I need a new set of cheap ones, though. Okay, so I'm just going to dab here. Make sure that it gets into every single letter. Don't you think this will be pretty on black? I do. I do. I wish I could talk back and forth to you. I guess you could do that if I had a live, but you don't have a live video today. Maybe sometime I can do that. Okay, that's looking good. I think we've got it in everywhere. All right, what I'm going to do is shake this over the garbage can, which is right beneath me. So I'm going to be off screen for just a minute here. See how easy that is just to pick up? All right, I'm going to the garbage can, and I'm going to brush, brush, brush across my black. And I'm going to get rid of that piece of paper. Okay, that looks good. Just really shine it up. And I'll bring it back, and we're going to lay it down. And then we're going to do the fun part. Let me get rid of this. At least I think it's fun. I'm wearing gloves today because I've been working so much with resin and glue and all of that my hands really have taken a beating. So I decided I would put some gloves on today. Let's see how that works. I don't know. I'm going to use some tape here, so I'm not sure. Not sure how that's going to work. I'll grab my tape. This is just painter's tape. It's kind of thick. I don't know what size it is. Let's see. It's 1 inch. 1 inch wide painter's tape. Okay. And then this is what we're going to do. We're just going to put this over it. Just very lightly. You don't want to mess up your lettering under there. And you can see how it's going to start to pull off the excess. Because we do want to have black showing, but we want to have it clean. I don't want pearl X on my black. I'll just keep walking down here, and then we'll go up and down like that. Okay. All right, there we go. We just got a note from our son in Dallas, Texas. He lives down there. He's lived down there for a number of years now. Has a job down there, of course. Anyway, he just got a new car, so he was happy. He is such a car guy and a watch guy. He loves cars. He loves watches. And Ryan, if you're watching this, hi, I love you. Okay, that's coming off nicely. And then we got another. We only have 2 sons. And I believe I have another baby in heaven because I miscarried between those 2. Maybe that's my girl. I don't know. All right. See how that's coming along? Okay, I'm going to bring you down a little bit. Well, then you can't see the whole screen, can you? I'll just put it back. All right. Anyway, then I got a text from our son that lives here and says he gave us a certain date for this summer, and he said, don't plan anything that you have to invite me to on this date because this is coming up and I won't be able to come if if you schedule something on that date. So, and it's some special movie that he wanted to see. Our son that is here sings. He's got a really, really nice voice, and he uses it a lot when he ministers with kids, you know, and they have these events over at their house, and he'll lead worship. I think that's just great. But he also likes other music. He likes Elvis. He loves to listen to that, and he'll sing some of Elvis's music too. In fact, many years ago, we took the kids to Nashville, And we were in Memphis also for a little bit. Anyway, we went into a museum that showed all this Elvis stuff. And out in the lobby was a karaoke. And of course, our son that likes to sing gravitated toward that. And so there was nobody out in the lobby by the karaoke machine. They had all, well, I take that back. We walked into the lobby and there was someone that was singing to something. And so there were people kind of around this gal. And then when the song was over, the people walked on and went into this museum-like place to see things. And so then Brad went up and he picked a song. It was an Elvis song, of course. And when you sing, now I'm going to go this way. When you sing at that place, whoever's singing karaoke, they carry the music into all the rooms. So the people that were touring the museum, all of a sudden we see people coming out. People were coming out to see him and hear him. It was just amazing. I think that encouraged him too. And one lady came over to me and she asked me, she was an older gal, she said, "Are you his mom?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And she said, "You keep him singing and he'll keep you in money." That just cracks me up. Of course, that never happened, but he still sings. I like to hear him sing so much. Just blesses me to hear him sing. And to know that he's using his voice for the Lord and, touching lives and reaching out to other people. I couldn't ask for anything more than that. Okay. It takes a while, you guys, and it does take some tape, but you know what? Painter's tape isn't that expensive, but you can see how it's coming along. Isn't that nice? I just thought this would be one of those days where we could kind of slow down and do something like this. So, it looks as though we will have my brother, his wife, and their daughter come for Thanksgiving. Well, they live in Kansas too, about a half hour from us or so, which isn't far. So they're going to come over. And usually we have my son and his family, his wife, and our 4 grandkids come. But I think they've got other plans this year, which is fine. So, last year, during COVID, Dan and I, my husband and I, had a Thanksgiving all by ourselves. And we spent Christmas all by ourselves, too. That was our choice to do that. But anyway, I think it'll be nicer this year to get together with some family. I really miss being around people. Oh, I do. Okay. And you might be thinking, well, isn't that enough? And actually, no. I want to see if I can get as much up as possible from around the edges and in between the letters and the sentences. And it is still coming up, so I'll just keep going here. My son that lives down in Dallas just went on a trip to Hawaii. I think I may have mentioned that to you. And, oh, my goodness. He and a group of friends went. They really enjoyed themselves. They had a great time. When our son that lives in Dallas, when he was, I'm not sure, was he a sophomore in college? Anyway, he had a friend whose mother, he was from Maui. And his mom still lived there, and he was in the States going to school. And so he and my son and others went to live on Maui for the summer. And they just thought, you know, they could go over there, and they were going to spend the first few days at this young man's house, and the mother had agreed to that. And then they went out and they were looking for a place, and they realized how expensive, oh my, so terribly, terribly expensive it is to live on that island. Well, I think any of the Hawaiian Islands. But they found a place, kind of a shed in the back of another person's home, and this person was willing to rent out the shed. And the shed did have a bathroom, and it had a partition, one wall partition, so there was a room on one side and a room on the other side of the partition, and then the bathroom was in between, but it was a mess. So they actually took the hose. The gal said, you'll have to clean it if you want to stay there. So they took the hose to it, and they actually took it inside the shed. I'm sorry for all the shadows here. I really have a hard time deciding where I'm going to put my lighting, etc. But anyway, I think you can see. So they took a hose in and they sprayed everything down. All of the walls, the windows, the toilet, everything. They just sprayed it. And then they also found out they had to fix the toilet. So my son is really good at fixing things. So he figured out how to do that, and so they fixed it. And the girls, I think there were 2 girls that went, and I think there were three boys. And so the 3 boys had one side, the 2 girls had the other side, and they just figured it out. They slept on the floor. They got a little cook stove that they used, and their first jobs over there were in a pineapple field. And if you know what pineapple fields are like, they had to wear, because there's so many pricklies involved, and they could get stuck easily, they had to wear kind of like a gaucho pant. And so they wore the gaucho pants, and then they had to wear coverings for their hands. It was hot. It was so hot. They didn't last in that too long. It was just too much. They weren't used to the humidity and the heat. And so, let's see if I can get some of this off down here by doing that. Okay, not going to worry about that part too much. And then my son and some of the others then decided they'd go apply somewhere else. And they did. They applied at a grocery store. And my son got to work behind the meat counter. Or the deli, I guess is what it was called. The deli. And one of the gals, she got to be a cashier. You know, so they were very thankful. And not knowing much about the island and how island life goes, and you know, I was amazed. Of course, we had given him an amount of money to take with him, but told him also that, you know, that runs out, and you are on your own. You've decided to do this, so you need to find work and take care of your expenses. And he did. He did it. He's always been. Well, both of our sons have been very, very responsible. I'm so blessed. And considerate and kind. And I know I'm their mom, but they have been. I just love them both so much. Okay. And now I also have a daughter-in-law who's the same way. She's very loving, very kind, very giving. And of course, she and my son that live here are involved. They aren't full-time ministry. Well, they are full-time because their ministry is their life they live. But they have jobs. My son that lives here is a financial counselor, and he's always been good in math, etc. Anyway, and then his wife, after she stayed home to raise their 4 little ones, now they have 2 in college, She went back to work to help out, and she became a realtor. And so this home that we're living in, she found for us. We were very thankful, and she sold our home that we had moved out of. So we were her first customers. Isn't that neat? Anyway, she does a beautiful job. It's perfect for her. She's very, very personable. And she took care of everything we needed. Yes, I'm almost done. I know you can't see it all, but there's this part up here I want to get. There, that's more revealing too now. Okay. And let's see here if there's anything else I want to do. I'm kind of just tapping above and kind of into the words. Yeah, that's better. Because it reveals them a little bit more. And when I'm done here, I will make this a close-up for you so you can see. You know, you're not going to get everything, every little thing off that you want to get off. And plus, you're just going to use bits and pieces here and there for your pieces. So let's just do this. Okay. And do some of this. What I'm finding out is I have really liked to make my pieces somewhat thick, but you really don't need to, especially if you resin your pieces, because generally when you resin, you'll resin a couple of times for different reasons, because you resin and then you put something on, and then you want to re-resin and so forth. So that thickens your pieces up. Let's see if I can get some of that up. There we go. So I ran this on a 2, and I'm going to leave it like this. I'm not going to put a back on it. I don't think it's necessary. I'm not going to texture anything to put on the back. Oh, that lifted that nicely. I'm going to do 1 or 2 more. And then I was so thankful that I could see Deb on Clay Boutique on YouTube put the resin on the back of her pieces, because that's given me a new way to finish off my pieces, and it's so pretty. So thank you, Deb. You guys, if you have never watched her, you need to go see how she does that, as well as how she makes pieces. She's really good at mixing clay, making clay look like, or making her clay pieces look like stones, beautiful stones. So you need to just check her out sometime. Okay, that's continuing to lift a little bit. I am kind of picky about this. I guess maybe you can tell that. But I don't want it just to be a big old blur, you know what I mean? I want people to be able to tell that there's words there. Yeah, now we're starting to get somewhere. And you're thinking, what? Thought we were somewhere. There was a lot to remove. Okay. This should look okay. I think that looks pretty good, except right down there. I'm going to lift up these. Oh, these are bad. And yes, it does use a bit of tape, but I don't do this very often. And so that's why I have painter's tape. Let's see if I do this. There we go. There we go. Anyway, my son that went and lived on Maui, they had a wonderful summer, and on their days off, they'd put their money together and they would rent a vehicle and just go explore. And they just had the best time. You know, when you're kids, you do things like that. You just, well, maybe not just when you're kids. When you're a grown-up, you do things like that too. Okay, you guys, I'm close. I am close to to being done here. Okay. And I think that's good enough. As you notice, I didn't put another piece of paper underneath there. I'm going to wipe some of this off. So I'm going to have to release it here, which I will do. I'll get my blade out and just very carefully. Here, let me just put you down there so you can see. Doesn't it look nice? I think it looks pretty good. Okay. And, all right. Oh, I like that. That's so pretty. Well, wouldn't that be pretty, you know, when you cut your pieces? Oops, sorry, I'm wiggling all over the place. When you cut your pieces, if, just looking at it here, on the back, you know, once they're baked and cured, the silver glitter would be gorgeous on the back of this. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Oh, that's really pretty. That's pretty. All right, now I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna kind of decide what I want to do here. I'm going to look in my drawers for a minute, so if you were here, you'd see me looking in my drawers just to see what I might want to do. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a hollow bead necklace again. So this is what you can buy at Michael's. It's or through Sculpey, as you can see right there. Sometimes you want to put your clay in here, but there's other times you want to put your clay out here on top, and that's what I'm going to do. And so, let's see, I lifted this up, right? I'm going to just move this out of the way a little bit. I'm going to see what cutters I have that fit over that nicely. So, I got some of my Fat Daddy-O cutters out. That's too big. That's too big. That is perfect. And that's a nice size. This is the same size. These have two sides to it, and they're identical. The sizes of the circles are identical. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of these out, and then I'm going to very carefully put one here and then put one here, and I'm going to bake them, and I'm going to make some more after they're done, because you can put this right in the oven. So let's see here. I want you to be able to see it. How about if I do this? There we go. So I think what I will do is I'm going to grab right up here where it says love letter and dear so-and-so. So I'm going to push that down. You notice that I did not have any plastic over this. So I'm going to pull that up. And now I'm going to take my blade and pull it up. And I'm going to lay it over this. I'm going to get another one here in just a minute, but I'm going to lay it over this. And I'm going to walk my fingers around this very carefully. Very, very carefully, because I want to make sure that I'm not going too far on one side and not far enough on the other side. Okay, so this way. And I'm pressing it down that it will touch this and kind of hold on to it while it's baking. And I'm going to just go around and see what it looks like. Okay, I think it needs to go over this way just a little bit more. Just a hair more. There. Okay. All right. I think that looks good. Okay. And then now that it's on there, I'm just going to put this over it. Might be able to pull off even a little bit more of the silver. Yep. Or the white. Pearl white. Okay. Yep. And then I'm going to use this other end. Come back. Push, 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 push. Okay. So that's down on all sides. Now I'm going to cut another one. See if I have enough room right next to it. Okay. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to use both of these and put them together. So that's only one bead. And I had 3 beads on my last necklace that I made with hollow beads. So what I have to do then is, when these come out of the oven, oh, that's not up far enough here. Once these come out of the oven, okay, push it down a little bit. I'm going to sand the edges, and then I'm going to place them together with some glue. Okay, that looks good. Now, I'm kind of comparing to see. They don't have to be perfect. As you can see, they don't reach the bottom, but they're pretty good. And then I can help it out with some, I'm just going to take this little razor blade. I might have pushed this out a little bit, so push it up a little bit to be more even. There we go. Once you start sanding them and putting them together that way, you can make them even, and believe it or not, they do line up very nicely, and they will glue together very nicely. See that? Because I think the lettering is bulging out a little bit more, I'm able to remove a little bit more of the excess. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. Let me just get that one little side. And oh, it's so shiny. Oh, this is going to be real pretty with, once I get it resined. Isn't that pretty? So depending on how many beads that you want in your necklace, you can do this. I would do it 3 times. I only have one of these to put in the oven. And I want to use the very same circles to make my other beads. I might just make 2 more because it looks like maybe that's what I've got room for over here. Or I just might make 2 different necklaces and 1 bead in the middle and then bead around it. That'd be pretty. I might do that. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, let's see, do I want that sincerely? That kind of adds interest. What does that say on the bottom? Boy, this is hard to see. No, I can't see what that word says there either. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to put, that looks like a signature. I'm going to put this, I want to make sure I can get a second one out of this. So there we go. I'll just put that there. I'm sorry, I'm not in frame, am I? I'll bring this back here. So, and then so I've got 1 more. And they're just going to sit here on my glass until I bake the other ones that I've already made. Let's see if I can get another one out of here. Kind of get that signature in there a little bit. Yep. Okay. And then give it a twist, twist. And you could make earrings out of some of this, you know, some smaller circles. So I'll save that. And you can tell that it's a signature there. Not real well, but you can tell. Okay, so I'm going to save these two for later. And right now, I'm going to go throw these in the oven and let them cure. Oh, I'm going to get a little bit more off of there. I know, I'm just too picky, but the more you can get off and still leave the writing, the better. Oh yeah, that lifted that. It can show some blurring sometimes, you know, around it. You just don't want to have it blurred. Okay, so let's just show you here. These are going to go in the oven right now, and I will bake them at 275 for an hour. And then I will pop them off, and I will come back, and I will, let's see here. I'll come back, and I will put these two on and do the very same thing. So I will be able to make 2 necklaces out of that, and I might even be able to get some earrings out of those over there. So I will be back once this is finished. See you in a minute. Now while that's in the oven, I am going to cut some earrings. I'm going to use this, remember my little cutters, my little set of cutters? This I ordered over the internet. When oh gosh, it's been a few years back now that I watched Unruly Housewife on YouTube. She used to make things out of clay, and I think she's into something else now. I think she makes doll houses, maybe? Anyway, she was using these, and so I looked them up on the internet way back then, and I ordered them. But they're originally for leather. They have a very sharp cutter, sharp side, and then a side that's not. This side that's got the ring around it, that's silver, that's the sharp side of the wider ring. This has a little bit of a ring on this end too, but you can tell it's not sharp. So I just picked one out of there, and I'm sure I'll use beads with them too, so this may just be the bottom or the top. So let's just go in here and get it lined up so I can get some of this off. Oh, it's barely going to fit there, isn't it? Barely, barely, barely. Maybe I have to come over here. Let's see. Which would be fine. Let me see if I can get it right in the middle here. Let me see if that will work. Sometimes you can sneak them in. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. So I'm going to use my acrylic black and just push it down. And let's see how we did. Let's see how we did. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, that's not bad at all. So I'm going to save this. I won't make hollow bead earrings out of this. So I'm going to put that up here. And you can see that there's a little area here, a little area here across from each other that it's not quite round, but I can smooth that out with a fingernail file after it's baked. Okay, now I need to get another one. So I need to decide if I want to go here. Let me just break off this extra clay, because there's only parts of it here that I can use anyway. I can use that part. Can possibly use that part for something else. Okay, move all this other clay out of the way and decide what I'm going to do here. You know what I think I might do? I might just use, I like this one. This seems like I might get more in. Let me see. I don't know if you can tell or not, but that looks like I could get a little bit more. I'm going to use this one. That's going to leave too much black on the side. I think I will use this Okay, and I just used my fingers for that because I really didn't need that block to do it. Okay, so I've got 2 now. Let's see if I want to get, I might get a couple more just because I can. And then I can pick later. Okay, and I don't know. I might not be able to get this one. Nope. Nope. Nope, 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 and nope. So I will still hold on to the 3 of these and then decide which 2 I will use. So, or I could roll this even back out again, or get some more clay, roll it out, and make another one, but I'm not going to go through all that. Okay, so I will be back shortly, and it's almost done baking. So I'm waiting for the black to get out of the oven, and I decided I'd pull out some beautiful turquoise granite and just try something different with the stamp. I thought, well, I might as well let you guys see it. So this is what I'm going to do. I've already conditioned this, and I'm going to put a little ink on the stamp this time, and I'm going to turn it over and press it onto the clay. We'll see. We'll see if it works. Let me see. I want to get out some black. So I'm using the archival ink, acid-free, permanent, and waterproof. Jet black, it says. So we shall see what we shall see. And I'm just going to tap, 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 tap. Make sure it's all inked up really well. And it looks like it's getting ink. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I just want to make sure it has enough. Hopefully I'm not going to overdo it here. We'll see. I haven't tried it with this stamp before, so we shall see what we shall see. Okay, I think that's good enough. And let's see if I can wipe my gloves off a little bit. I don't know about that. Put the lid back on my ink. Store it upside down in my drawer. Okay. Let's see what we can do with this now. Very carefully. We'll see. We shall see what we shall see. Generally, I wouldn't have come back in until the other piece was done, but I figured I have to wait anyway, and so let's try something else, and thought I'd let you see. Okay. Hopefully this will be okay. Okay. This is a little different. I'm not going to pick it up and see how I'm doing yet. I'm just going to pick it up and go with it. So, I just want to make sure it's in there nicely. And I didn't put a sheet of paper under here. I should have. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. Ooh! Oh, that is nice. I can almost read it here. Oh, that's cool, you guys. I like that idea. Very cool. It says, all my love, Esther, down here. Well, I'm going to have to get on my glasses that will bring this in a little bit better, but it looks like I can read it. Oh, this is very cool. Okay. So what I'll do on this one, I think I'm a little crooked, aren't I? See if I can just pull it up. I can. Okay. See all the granite that it left behind there? Scrape that off with my blade a little bit and bring it back like that. That's cool. Oh, haha. That makes me happy. All right. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take this off. And take this off. Oops. And there we go. Oh, I like that. That is pretty cool. All right, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I'll be back. Hi, everybody. It's Joni again, real quick here. Just wanted to let you see what's been going on here. These are done. Just got them out of the oven. And actually, they've cooled off already. They're so thin. And as you will see, I want to make sure the writing here matches the writing here. In other words, I don't want this one upside down. I want it upside right. So I kind of look at the side. And then that's when I will glue them together. And I'm trying just to see right now. Can you see that? That's going to make a hollow bead. It's very light. Very, very light. Anyway, they turned out real pretty. When these are shiny with a little resin, this is going to be gorgeous. So, let's see, make sure I got it right side up here. Yeah. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I take this coarse, I want to create this flatter edge here. You can't do it too much. You don't want to wear the edge down too much, but I'm going to do it on this one, which is, this is 60. And then I'm going to do it on a 400 sandpaper too. So I'm just going to do a little bit, back and forth. I just wanted you to be able to see the process. I know this video is longer than some of my videos, but I'm sure some of you have been able to just kind of skip through where you really wanted to go, which is good. All right, let's see what this looks like. I'm gonna wipe it off over here a little bit. Yes, that's what it's doing. It's creating kind of a flatter, let's see if I can show you. See how that's flattening out there a little bit. That's what I want, because I want to be able to glue them together better. And it looks like it's real close. You don't have to do it for very long. And I turn it as I do it. Okay, yeah, that's good. Now I'm going to just wipe it off a little bit first. And then I'm going to remove this. And I'll bring in my smoother sandpaper. Let me push this back so you can see better. Okay, now this one is, what did I say it was? A 400. So I'm just going to take this and rub it, turn it, rub it a little bit. Oh, I got a piece of my glove off of my finger. The hazards of crafting. Okay, and see how smooth that makes. Yeah, that's nice. That should be a really nice edge to glue something to. Yeah, that looks good. I don't know if you can see it real well. I'll try to show it to you, but okay, I'm just going to do it a couple more times here and turn it. And once you have that Pearl X on there, it on the raw clay, it bakes in. All right, maybe you can see that better. I won't take the dust off of it yet, the clay dust. And then you can see how it's creating a flatter edge. Okay, so that's good. And I'm going to set this one aside. And I'll clean it up better than that when I get going. And we'll do the other one. And turn it. And turn it one more time. And see how we're doing. Yep, it's coming along. You can see the black clay coming off on here. Oh, that looks good already, I think. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's good already. All right, so I'll move that one over there. And we'll smooth it out a little bit more. And if I can get it picked up. Oh, that looks good, I think. We'll see when I try to put it together. Let me just get a little wipe and get some of that dust. Usually I do this in another room down here in our basement, but I wanted you to be able to see it. It can really create quite a mess. All right, so there's that, and I'm going to wipe them off actually with a baby wipe. And I'll wipe on the other side too. Okay. All right. That's the right way up. That's the right way up. Can you hear? They're really lightweight. All right, I'm going to put them together. That's the top of that. That says, "My dearest David," it looks like anyway. So let's line these up. Yep. And I'm going to see if I put clay on, if I put glue on, if they will line up well. Yep, I think so. I think they will. And then what I can do if I want to, after they're glued, I can sand them down on the outside a little bit. Okay, that looks like it'll work. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this GS Hypo Cement. It's got a very small needle-like nose on it. And I'm going to see if I can make sure now when I do it together that, so I'm just going to go all the way around, like this. Keep walking around. Okay. I can smell it. And come over here this way. All right. Now, I should put that on right away, but I'm just going to bend it up because I've got these gloves going on here. All right, so it's this way. Oops, let's see. This way and this way. Okay. That's up. Okay. And then this way. Make sure I got it the right way here. Yep. Okay. And I have just a few minutes to adjust it, so I will. Not minutes, but seconds. And then I'm going to just hold them like this. Make sure that they're pretty much even all the way around, and they are. Okay. I'm going to take these gloves. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm going to take these gloves off. I really whacked that camera, didn't I? I'm sorry about that. All right. So that's lined up really well. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be good. All right. This GS Hypo Cement dries quickly, but I am going to just let it sit. Do you see how it's hollow inside, and so it's bulging here and it's bulging here. And later on, I'm going to let it sit for a while. I'm going to sand around the edges, and then I'm going to come in, and I am actually going to go through here to the other side. I'm going to drill a hole, depending on how I want to hang it, but I'll decide that later on. I certainly will show you, but I wanted to show you at least this much of how to make a hollow bead. Let me put this lid back on here before all of the glue leaks out. And just got to put my finger up on it because then I can see the top better. And get this pin back in. There we go. Okay. Wipe that off. Okay. Oh, that looks really well. Oh, really nice. Not really well. Looks nice. I'll put it on a napkin here. Maybe you can see it better. Okay, let's just do it this way. And then I'll turn it so you can see it this way. See how I lined up the words? Oh, that's going to be real pretty. Now I could drill a hole from front to back, put a jump ring in. And I might do that this time. The other time I drilled from here to here, like I said, and then I had to string it through. And that looked really cool. It had three hollow beads next to it, each other. But I might do it differently this time. We'll see. The other set that I made is in the oven now. And I'm waiting for that to come out, as well as the beads I made for my turquoise necklace that I showed you real quickly. So when that comes back out, I'll show you that too. Well, I'm back, and I have my bead out of the oven, and it's sanded, and I put holes. I decided to go from this side to this side again. When you do that, you know, after you've glued it, you'll drill right on the seam where you have glued it together. So what I do is I hold it real tight together. I pinch it like that, and then I use my little pin drill, and I drilled a hole on this side, and then I went and I matched it, and I did the same thing on the other side. So as you can see, I have threaded this on some, I don't know, maybe you can't see it, on some very fine thread. This is Fireline thread, 6-pound Fireline. And depending on how many beads you put on either side of this and make your necklace out of, you know, I put some beads out here that you could just kind of look at. You could certainly use, you know, different kinds. You could use blue. You can do whatever you want to do. But I thought, well, I'll put the Christmas kind of red out here. You could certainly use that. And the white, and this is just the smaller white, and then, of course, the jet black. And you could string it on both sides and make a beautiful necklace. Once I have the necklace done, I'll show it to you. But I didn't have time for that today. I'm so sorry that this video has gone so long today, but I wanted you to see the process. And I hope that you have, if you haven't seen the process before, I hope you did learn something from it, and I hope you'll try it. It's just really fun. And I did put some resin on it, a light coat of resin. I probably will put one more coat on it, but I thought it turned out really nice. And my other things are not out of the oven yet. The other two of this, and then my blue ones aren't out of the oven yet. So I'll be doing something with those two, and then I'll show you after I finished it. So God bless you guys. This was kind of fun to do a longer video today. I hope you enjoy it. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.